Hey everyone, this is Heidi from the blog Hands Occupied with another knitting video tutorial for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to knit the iconic ripple stitch in knitting. To work the chevron stitch, you need to cast on a multiple of 8 stitches plus 2. So for demonstration's sake, I have 18 stitches cast on, because 8 times 8 is 16, plus those 2 stitches equals 18. And also for demonstration's sake, I've already worked row 1, where I've purled across all of the stitches, and that's a wrong side row. Now for row 2, which is a right side row, this is where all the action is that actually creates the chevron or ripple stitch that we are going for here. So we're going to start out with knitting 1 stitch and follow that up with a KFB, which is a knit front back. So we work into the front and back of the next loop, and that increases our overall stitch count by 1. Next, what we need to do is knit 1, and then we'll follow that up with an SSK. So our SSK is slip 1 as if to knit, slip 1 as if to purl, pass both stitches back to the left-hand needle, and knit them together through the back loop. Then we'll follow that up with a knit 2 together. Both the SSK and knit 2 together decrease our overall stitch count in our row by 1. Next, we need to knit 1, and then we'll do 2 KFBs in a row. So there is 1 KFB, and another KFB. Then we'll knit 1, slip, slip, knit, knit 2 together, and knit 1. Now we're on our last 2 stitches of our row, which will end with our KFB and our knit 1. Next, we'll turn to our wrong side of our row and we'll purl across all of the stitches. And one trick that I like to use when I'm working a stitch with a lot of increases and decreases is to, when I have a wrong side row that's all purled like this one, I like to count all of the stitches, which I just did in my head, to make sure that my stitch count is maintained at my 18 stitches that I cast on. So you can see here, if you look at the bottom of our work right here, that we're starting to have a little bit of a chevron effect, even just after working 3 rows. To keep working the chevron stitch, you're going to need to repeat rows 1 and 2, which are purl all the way across, and then that row with all of the increase and decreases that I demonstrated a moment ago. Repeat those 2 until your work is the length you'd like it to be. If we take a quick look at this swatch I did of this same stitch, you can see that there is a lot of increasing and decreasing throughout the piece. And I use this variegated yarn so you could really see the motion, especially right here where we switch from the purple to the blue, the zigzag motion created by all of those increases and decreases. The decreases form your upward leaning peaks here and here in this swatch, and the valleys are where the center of those KFBs line up. The chevron or ripple stitch is an iconic stitch in knitting that's often used for big afghans, and once you memorize the repeat of all those increases and decreases, this is a good stitch to use for an afghan that you might want to use while you're watching TV or something like that. The ripple stitch is a great place to practice your knitting increases and decreases, especially if you're looking to level up from an advanced beginner to a solidly confident intermediate knitter. If you have any tips or tricks for how you like to work your ripple stitch, go ahead and let us know in the comments, which is a great place to also reach out with any questions. Don't forget to tune in again soon for more knitting tutorials.